I didn't see this other little part. I forgot to solve 3 all the way, so I'm just going to have them 2 separate videos. Kind of annoying, but whatever. Example 2 and 3, part A are in a video, and then I'll have 3 and 4 in another video. So now, check it out. I'm going to switch colors to blue, and now it's telling us this. Now it's saying instead of f of g, it wants g of f. So I'm going to rewrite that. It looks like this. G of f of x. That's what this is saying. So it's saying we're going to find the equation g, right? We're going to read it from left to right. We want equation g, which is right here. We want equation g, and we're going to insert f of x into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my g of x, but I'm going to replace all my x's with parentheses first. And then that's the main trick of this. Replace your x's with parentheses. Now, what is my f of x? My f of x is this. So my f of x is equal to 3x minus 1 is equal to 3x minus 1. And they want you to take this 3x minus 1 and shove it inside this g. So I have 3x minus 1 and then 3x minus 1. Now, I'm going to have to do some work on this. I'm going to distribute to 2. 2 times 3 is 6x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. And then I have to bring that 3 down. Now I have 6x, doesn't change, and then minus 2 plus 3 is going to be a positive 1. And then how do I write my answer? The original answer, they wanted you to solve for g of f of x. So you write it like this, and that's your answer. Got it? So now let's go ahead and do number 4 together. This is quite a bit of stuff to do, but let's do it. A is a good example of these problems of what you're expected to learn. So let's see what this is saying. I read these things inside out. So when I see it like this, I'm like, okay, inside out. The first thing it's telling me is it wants g of 3. It wants g of 3, okay? Well, how do I solve g of 3, y'all? Well, like what we've been doing the past couple of days. I'm going to find g, here it is, and I'm going to go ahead and write down the entire equation g of 3 as I can do it. So what I did was I replaced this x with parentheses, and now I'm going to shove in g of 3. I'm going to shove in my 3. So I'm basically going to have to evaluate g of 3 myself. You're going to have to do that. Some of these problems are multi-stepped. So let's look at this. G of 3 equals 3 squared plus 1. 3 squared is 9, and then plus 1 is 10. So I know that g of 3 is equal to 10. So I know that g of 3 is equal to 10. And why does that matter? Because watch what happens now. I know that g of 3 is equal to 10. So it wants me to find g of 3, but I know that it's equal to 10. Boom. I can now plug that in. This is the hard one, y'all. This is the stuff that gets difficult. So pay attention to what I did. It's multi-stepped. I found g of 3 first, and then after I found g of 3, I went back and shoved it into f of x. So f of x equals 4. Remember, put that parenthesis for those x's, y'all. I can't stress that enough. Now it wants me to plug in 10. So now what do I have? I have 40. 4 times 10 is 40. Minus 6, and that gives me 34. So my full answer and how I record it, are you ready? The full way to record this is f of g of 3 equals 34. Not too shabby. Now let's go ahead and do B together. I'm going to switch to blue ink on this one. G of f of x. It wants g of f of x. It wants g of f of x. So how do I write that? Well, let's start by writing our g. So our g of blank equals, remember there's that square of blank, square plus 1. Now what's my f of x? My f of x, let's go over here, is 4x minus 6. So now I have to shove in a 4x minus 6 in this crap. 4x minus 6 in this. 4x minus 6. All right, this is where you would have to basically expand this. Again, I don't really want to get into this right now today. I don't want to get into the arithmetic. We're going to have a day next week I deal with this. But just so you know, in order to complete this, what you'd have to do is you would have to square this all out. You'd have to square this whole thing out just like this. And then you'd have to go to the 4x times 4x. So you'd end up with 16x squared. Then 4x times negative 6, you'd end up with minus 24x. Then you'd go over to the negative 6. You'd end up with minus 24x again. And then negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. Bring down your 1. And again, all you people who are like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never seen this. Keep it to yourself. I'm going to come back. Look, it's this. It's the distribution thing. 4x has to multiply there. 4x also has to multiply here. Then I have to come back and multiply this negative 6 to here. And then I have to multiply this negative 6 to here. These are skills you're supposed to have for this class, but welcome to 2024, where America can't do math. So when you're all said and done with getting those all together, you have to simplify it. So now let's check this out. 16x squared is by itself. It needs to stay. Negative 24x minus 24x is going to be minus 48x. And then 36 plus 1 is 37. And this would be the full answer for your problem, g of f of x. That's your full answer right there. Got it? I am going to set up C. I'm going to use purple, whatever it's called, ink, to set up C, but I'm not going to solve it because it's more and more the same thing. So h of f of x is what this is saying to do on C. So you have to find h. So in this case, we have h. And then what am I shoving into it? I'm shoving f of x into it. So I'm going to shove f of x into it equals, my original h of x is 1/2. And then instead of that x, I'm going to write parentheses. Don't forget those parentheses. And what goes in it? 4x minus 6. So that's the setup for that one. I don't want to do very much more on that. You get the basics.